Donald Trump has been president of the United States for just over a month now, and according to a CNN review of the available data, he has nearly 2,000 jobs in his administration that he's yet to fill. Some of those vacancies do require Senate confirmation, but the vast majority do not. David Cohen is a professor of political science at the University of Akron in Ohio, and he also co-authored this book, Buckeye Battleground: Ohio Campaigns and Elections in the 21st Century. So, Professor, how not only unusual is this, but what are the difficulties of having this many vacancies?
Well, first of all, it's not unusual that presidents take a long time to fill all of the positions that they have to once they transition into office. I mean, it could be up to a year to get all of those positions filled, and every president runs into this challenge. But the Trump administration has been pretty lax in terms of appointing people to these positions. For example, the Washington Post tracks some of the real key positions in the cabinet, 500 plus positions. The Trump administration has appointed only 34 people to these positions, and only 14 have been confirmed. And that's a pretty slow pace, and there's some serious implications to that. And that is, besides the fact that the cabinet is not filled, a lot of those deputy cabinet and sub-cabinet positions that are really crucial to actually running our executive branch, those positions are largely unfilled as well.
He complains that it's Democrats who are getting in the way of him filling his cabinet. He has also had delays on his part, though, for appointing people, as you've noted, and also a delay in some of the background check paperwork. Should this have been something that his transition was more on top of?
Well, first of all, his transition is right up there with the worst transitions in history. I would say it's probably the worst transition we've had. Previously, probably the Clinton administration had the worst transition before that. And honestly, it was like the Keystone Cops were in charge. And for a while, you had Chris Christie, who was in charge of the transition, and all the work that he did, the new transition folks came in and they literally threw it in the wastebasket. And so the transition team was way behind to begin with. But, are Democrats slow walking in some cases? Probably. But there's an issue with a lot of his appointments. And the fact is, many of them haven't had their paperwork together. Many of them have been very controversial. And in some cases, the president himself has vetoed some of the sub-cabinet picks that people like Rex Tillerson have submitted to him, because some of these people have been critical to him at some point in the past, whether it be during the campaign or during the transition. And so, there's a whole host of reasons why the positions aren't being filled, but he is lagging.
If you don't have these deputy cabinet positions filled and these sub-cabinet positions filled, how does that hinder governing?
It very much hinders governing, because most people are focused on the high-profile cabinet positions. And these are important positions because they set the basic policy for that cabinet department, and they're the ones that have to liaise with the president. But it's those deputy cabinet positions and the positions below the deputy cabinet that are really important, because they're the ones that actually run the departments. A cabinet head is not a day-to-day administrator. It's the people below them that are the day-to-day administrators of those departments. And we're talking departments that have some of them tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. And it seriously hampers the ability of the federal government to be able to run. And, when we're talking about the Department of State or the Department of Defense, that can be a serious issue.
No, it certainly is, of national security, of diplomacy. David Cohen, thank you so much, from the University of Akron.